there's a man who made the entire world laugh. A small figure with a bowler hat, a cane, and an awkward walk. We remember him as comedy. But Charlie Chaplin's life was never funny. It was survival. Charlie Chaplin was born in London into extreme poverty. His father was an alcoholic who disappeared early. His mother, a talented singer, lost her voice and slowly lost her mind. As a child, Charlie watched her collapse on stage, unable to continue singing. That moment was not applause, it was silence. By the age of 7, Charlie Chaplin was homeless. He slept in workhouses, in orphanages, on the edge of society. Hunger was constant. Shame was familiar. Childhood was not a place of safety. It was something to escape. And so, he learned early how to perform. But that unbearable lack gave him something unexpected. It gave him the power of observation. He studied people closely. Drunk men on the streets, arrogant wealthy men, exhausted laborers. He copied their faces, their gestures, their movements. By mimicking them, he forgot his sadness. One day, from that observation, a character was born. He was called the Little Tramp, a character deeply resembling Chaplin himself, a man with nothing but unwilling to lose his dignity, a man who could pick up a discarded cigarette and still smoke it like a gentleman. Pants too big, slipping down, a jacket too small, pulled tight, and an old bowler hat, worn by a man who desperately wanted to look like a gentleman, a poor man, a lonely man, a man constantly pushed aside. And yet, the tramp was kind, gentle, hopeful. He stumbled through a cruel world without becoming cruel himself. That was not acting. Fame arrived, money followed, but peace did not. Chaplin's private life was chaotic. His relationships failed. He was mocked, criticized, and judged. And when he used his films to speak about poverty, war, and injustice, the world turned colder. In The Great Dictator, he dared to mock tyranny. He used laughter to expose cruelty, and for that courage, he paid a heavy price. During the Cold War, Charlie Chaplin was labeled dangerous, un-American, suspicious. In 1952, while traveling abroad, the United States revoked his visa. Without a trial, without explanation, he was exiled. The man who made millions laugh was not allowed to return home. Once again, Charlie Chaplin was unwanted. Exile reopened old wounds. Abandonment, rejection, silence. But this time he did not run from it. He turned inward. Chaplin once said, "I went into exile because I was tired of being misunderstood." And yet, he kept creating, not louder, but deeper. He realized something essential. Comedy was never about escaping pain. It was about transforming it. In his films, the poor man still struggled. But he loved, he cared, he resisted becoming bitter. Chaplin did not deny suffering. He refused to let suffering win. Near the end of his life, after decades of exile, Charlie Chaplin was invited back to America. When he stepped onto the stage, the audience stood, and they did not stop applauding. For 12 minutes, the man who was once rejected was finally seen. Not as a clown, but as a human being. Charlie Chaplin taught the world something quietly profound. You do not overcome pain by pretending it doesn't exist. You overcome it by giving it meaning. He once said, "To truly laugh, you must be able to take your pain and play with it." Laughter in his hands was not denial. It was dignity. Remember this. You do not need to become hard to survive a hard world. You can remain gentle. You can still choose kindness. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to keep walking forward, even if your steps are awkward, even if the world laughs. Because one day your pain may become the very thing that helps someone else breathe. Just as Charlie Chaplin did.